Okay. So, Hakkar. Alright, so obviously I went in with no food buff. Oh, something I've learned, by the way, if you're using Old Warrior's Soul, if you're eating food and you get pulled into combat while you're eating, the trinket doesn't think you've been pulled into combat because you're performing an action that you shouldn't be able to do in combat, and then it refuses to stack for the entire fight. So, if you need a food buff, demand that your group does not pull until you're done with food, and if you see them going to pull, stop eating immediately, otherwise you just lose all of the haste. It's why I didn't even risk going for the food buff here, because I've been caught out by that a couple of times, specifically on this boss. So, Hakkar, the reason why our Hakkar is super simple now is that, like, the way that you control ads is... or the way that we control ads is a lot better. A lot of the damage that comes out of this fight that needs to be... a lot of the damage that comes out of this fight that needs to be healed is coming from the ads fixating, but you can specifically prevent the ads from fixating. As a warrior, you want to be trying to reflect as many corrupted bloods as possible, that ability. You can deflect it. Reason why it's so good is just to reduce the amount of healing on the fight, because the tank's getting dicked on. And, yeah, other people obviously need healing from the corrupted blood as well. What's my hardest hitting abilities? Rampage and Execute. So, one of the things that we found is that Rampage was like 3k? No, Rampage is in 4 strikes. Rampage is in 4 strikes, and it's like roughly 1.6, 1.7k per strike without crit. Like, you'll see it here. Hold on. There. Within what time? Let's find out. Within, what? Probably 0.2, 0.3 seconds. And it's anywhere between, like those ticks there, some of them were like 2k. But I did have a Jathus proc, I think. Did I have Jathus proc going into this? Yeah, I did. So like 1.9, 2k, 2.2k. At minimum, they're going to be about like 1.5, 1.6. But anyway, yeah, so if you've done Hakkar before, you'll see that the shield sometimes can just bug out and not actually be applied to the boss. The way that the shield works is in 2 parts. The cast of the shield itself, now, it does initial damage to the entire group and applies a shield to itself at the same time, but the shield is tiny. The shield is incredibly small. The extra portion of the shield doesn't come until after damage dealt to everything in the room, including ads, has been calculated, so it takes a little bit of time for that extra shield to apply. So if you have all of your DPS hold globals, which we've started doing, if you hold globals before the shield cast goes off and then use it the second the shield cast hits, then you can break through the tiny shield before the extra damage is calculated and added onto the shield. Obviously, you want to be trying, as Shell is saying, you want to be trying to hold your hardest hitting ability, so realistically, I want to go into every shield ready to use a Rampage, but I guarantee you that that doesn't happen very often. It's a lot easier to manage with Wreck, for sure, but anyway. So that's one thing, which helps make it a lot smoother, because then it means that you don't have to blast through a shield. It also means that the energy bugs out, because he hasn't technically properly casted a shield. You don't need to worry about that, because the blood barrier is on a timer anyway, so you can still, you can still predict when it's coming based on a timer. The other side of things that makes it really smooth is how you deal with Sons of Hakkar. Like so. Obviously, I told you that a lot of the healing that comes from this fight, credit to Shella for finding this out, a lot of the damage that comes out of this fight is the Sons of Hakkar when they fixate on someone. And just the Sons of Hakkar in general. Obviously, you want to try and keep on top of them as much as you can. So what we do is on a rotation between me and Shella and sometimes TZ, our monk, with leg sweep, we just stun the Sons of Hakkar pretty much as they reach us in melee. As far as I can tell, it permanently delays or permanently stops their fixate. They don't fixate on anyone, so they stay in melee, which means that we can cleave them down a lot easier between, well, my cleave, the monk cleave, Shella can focus them. We specifically cleave off of the ad itself, so I'm cleaving off onto the boss. And we just try and keep them killed for as long as possible. When one dies, we move away from the pool. Just keep hitting the boss as normal. Blood barriers coming in. So you see how I didn't have Rampage ready there? So I don't have the Rage for Rampage at that moment. I use Rampage here to kill the ad. I don't have Rex, so my Rage generation is really slow. And then it comes to the Blood Barrier. What I should have done here, maybe... is that the best I could have done in that situation? Let me have a look. Trying to build Rage, build Rage, build Rage, Bloodthirst. So I was caught mid-global, which is not good. What I probably should have done is wait. What I should have done is maybe wait and not try to build up any more Rage. Or what I should have done is gone out and charged in to build up more Rage quicker. And then had Rampage ready for the barrier. But, yeah. I'm still not 100% perfect at it. So, yeah. But anyway. But then you'll see how we handle the ads as we go forward. Because the ad died in good enough time, you see that Stormbolt's ready again. So ad comes back up, target it, stun it. Doesn't fixate anyone again. Cleave off of it. Cleave off of it onto Hakkar. Kill it off. And then we move away again. Mouse over execute for fun. And we move away from it again. The second ad spawning now. This one is Shellers to deal with. He stuns it immediately as it appears. And now it's literally just going to come towards us in melee, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cleave off of that onto the boss. And then we just basically do the same thing for the entire fight. Have a look at this barrier. Yeah, so I had it there. Yeah, I'm trying to see exactly when I use it. Hold on. Piercing Barb. Blood Barrier. I wonder if I need to use it, like... I wonder if I need to use it just before the barrier goes off. Like, I wonder if I should use it sort of... Well, it's going to be too difficult to get that timing every time. But maybe I should... I don't want to use it any earlier because, like, I lose so much damage on the shield itself if I get, like, 2 ticks in it. You see what you're showing me here? Right, I see. So realistically, it should be a use just before. Is this on the first barrier? Or is this on the... Which barrier is this on? They're in order? Right, okay. Okay, let me look at this. That one was broken. That was the one that I didn't have Rampage on anyway. The third one I did have Rampage on. I don't know what tick of Rampage it was, though, on the very first one. There was a good Rampage, but you can see it spread over 0.5 seconds. But yeah, didn't you say that it was 0.5 seconds that the small barrier was up for, before the extra shielding came in? Better press one Rampage tick early than one late. Yeah. Okay. What's the time difference between the first 2 ticks? Only like... Actually 0.15 seconds. Yeah, okay. No, you're right. I definitely want to get these 2 hits in. Like, this gap is fine. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I wonder how much of this comes down to RNG with our dot ticks as well. With, like, necrotic wound dot ticks. And when our melees come. Yeah, anyway, no, back to the fight. But I've basically explained everything anyway. Yeah, we literally just play the rest of the fight in exactly the same way. So that first ad that spawns, which is the one that I stun, is the one that I continue to stun throughout the entire fight. The only time that your stun will not line up is if the ad dies, or if the ad has a lot of its health chunked with Blood Barrier. So you saw that with the one that was stunned by Shella. So the one out here, obviously Blood Barrier comes in, and as you see it come in, you see how much health it's lost. If this is then to die pretty quickly, if this was mine, and it died pretty quick after the stun, which it still needs to die fast, the idea is to stay on top of the ads throughout the whole fight, it means that you won't have Stormbolt back. But it's fine, because you just push your ad 1 back, so you would do the second one instead. And if it happens on the second one, you do the third one. You just fit in your stun on an ad that it can work on. For this to be properly effective, you need to be stunning pretty much every single ad. Any fixate, especially if it fixates on, like, your mage, or if you don't have a prop paladin, if it fixates on, you know, a really squishy healer or whatever, it does so much damage. It does so much damage. So yeah. And like I say, we literally just play the entire fight exactly the same way. Try and hold globals for every Blood Barrier, stun the Sons of Hakkar so they don't fixate on anyone, still use CDs off CD. This lust was... yeah. Probably not great. We've agreed that we're going to hold it back for 1. And just stay on top of the ads. Stay on top of the ads. But the stunning thing is huge. Like, our Hakkars... because you can see, just look, they're all stacked up, which... for you as a Fury Warrior is insane. But yeah. It's just about trying to play it as clean as possible. Hakkar ad spawns, target it, stun it. Again, again, again. Cleave off of it. Mouse over execute on Hakkar. More damage. Yeah. And then just keep moving away from them. And then basically spend the majority of the time synced up. And in cleave range. There's going to be a huge barrier because we have so many ads. It was like a 600k barrier. I think I used Shattering on this one. I can't remember if I did or not now. I don't think I did actually because there's too many ads to... ah, no, there it is. Yeah, Shattering Throw is really good. If you are going to use Shattering Throw as Fury, by the way, make sure you're enraged. Otherwise, you're just missing out on like 40% extra damage on it for no reason. But yeah. And then same again, like, look, Aftershock is so good in this moment, by the way. This is another reason why I love Nightface. Sometimes Aftershock is insane. Aftershock knocking down all those ads will also prevent their fixate. So I've found. Our tank died there, I just ran away. Luckily we had a cast, otherwise I was dead there as well. He taunts back before I take a melee. And yeah, we kill boss. But yeah, it's just about trying to play it as clean as possible. Hopefully that, you know, helps a bit. But, as we were discussing yesterday, there doesn't seem to be an awful lot of teams that are looking to control their ads precisely like that. And it doesn't even lose you time on the boss. You still kill the boss in the same or similar amount of time. How much damage does Shattering do? If I'm enraged, it's 21k. 21 to 23k. So I can effectively solo a barrier, but the thing is I need to be enraged. So, yeah, sometimes it's a bit hard to time. Did 28k? Yeah, something like that. A lot of it also comes down to if I have, a lot of it also comes down to if I have, like, a Jathus proc or whatever.